All right, and our last bit for factoring, special factoring. So this is going to be factoring what we call a trinomial square, a difference of squares, and then certain polynomials with 4 terms by grouping and possibly using factoring, or trinomial squares of different squares, and then the sum and difference of cubes. All right, so what we mean by a perfect square, there we go. We want to consider the trinomial x squared plus 8x plus 16. So to factor it, we can look for factors of 16 that add to 8. So what we would end up finding, if you're looking at factors of 16, is one of those 4 and 4. And those sum to give me 8. So we can factor this into x plus 4, x plus 4. Or another way of saying it, it's just x plus 4 squared. So note that the result is the square of the binomial, x squared plus, or as a square of binomial. So x squared plus 8x plus 16 is called a binomial square because of how it factors, or sometimes we call it a perfect square trinomial. A trinomial recognized as a perfect square trinomial can be quickly factored. So we're going to talk about how we recognize that. So what we need to notice is that we have 2 expressions, a squared and b squared, that must be squared. There must be no minuses signs before either the a or the b. And the middle term is going to be a plus or minus 2ab. So when we had x squared plus 8x plus 16, well, this is a square. 16 is also a square. It's 4 squared. And then that center term, well, we have an x from the a, and we have a 4 from over here. We have 2 times 4x. So that's how we get the 2ab. So what we're noticing is that essentially that this is squared, and that this is as 4 squared, and then this is 2 times whatever that squared number was. So we have 2 trinomial squares. We'd have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That's going to be a plus b squared. Then if the center term is negative, we'd have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared equals a minus b squared. All right. So if you can factor this and not have to worry about the square trinomial, that is fine. We're just going to show you how we do this. So this is a square. This is also a square. We know that this is 5 squared, and that this, well, it's just still m squared. This center term, if we look at it, we notice that that would be, well, 2 times 5 times m. So basically we took 1 square from each side, and then we multiplied by 2. So this is of that form where we had a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, because we're saying that a is representing the m, and we're saying that b is representing the 5. So since we know this, we know, if we go back to our rules on the previous page, that this is actually going to be a plus b squared. So without actually any factoring, I know that this is just m plus 5 squared. So I have factored my trinomial. So if you look at your worksheet, number 14, you have 14 and 15 actually. Both of these are squares. So this one, you're going to consider that you have a 9 and an x. So what do I have to square to get 9 and x squared? And the same thing here. This one, you may have to factor out something first, and then you definitely have an x squared and a y squared here. So I'll give you a moment to work on those, see if you can do it, and then come back to the video. All right, so with this one, like I said, we got a negative here, so we're looking for something like a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Already we know that because of that negative. But we have to look at these two edges first. So here, well, that's just 3 squared and x squared. And 16, that's just going to be 4 squared. So we can actually rewrite this side as 3x squared. So now what we want to see, we've decided that according to this, that a is going to be the 3x and b is going to be the 4. We want to know, is this middle term going to end up being a negative 2ab? So let's start working on that. So we got negative 24. Well, I can take out the 2. And then I'm left with 12x. Well, I could divide by 4, and I have negative 2, and I'd be left with 3x and 4. So we have 2ab. Okay. So it is of the correct form. So a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So the factored form of this is going to be a minus b squared. So we said what a and b are. That means if I was to factor this, except that's my a and this 4 is my b. This would actually factor into 3x minus 4. All right, so for 15, everything here is divisible by 5. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to factor out 5. Now I have x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. So this is actually a perfect square trinomial. If a is x and b is y, then x squared minus 2xy plus y squared is the same as saying a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So once again, we know this is going to be, let's do this off to the side here. This is the same as just saying a minus b squared. So this is just the same as having x minus y squared. So the final form is we still have that 5 we factored out. This in here, though, factors into x minus y squared.